Alright, welcome back, math students. We are moving further along into chapter 3. Now we're on 3.2b, and we're just going to do a review on how to add and subtract decimals. Okay, so just like the last video, this is not a lesson complete on how to add and subtract decimals if you've never done it before. This is just a review to get us ready for working with positive and negative fractions and positive and negative decimals. Okay, so that is our goal. So, adding and subtracting decimals, two important things to remember. Number one, when you go and add or subtract them, you want to line up the decimal points. Alright, very important so that you don't get the answer wrong. Number two, that's very important. We're going to have empty spaces sometimes, and we're going to fill the empty spaces with zeros. Alright, two things to remember. Okay, let's take a look at some examples, and as a refresher, just to see how to go about solving these. The first problem we have is 2.6 plus 4.5. Okay, so if I'm going to add them together, I'm going to stack them on top of each other. Biggest number goes first. And I'm going to line up my decimal points. Okay, see how they are in line? That's perfect. That's what I want. I have no empty spaces, so I can just go ahead and start adding. I have 5 and 6, which is going to get me 11. Carry the 1. 4 plus 1 plus 2 is going to give me 7. So I get 7.1 for an answer. Okay, let's take a look at our next example. 13.4 plus 7.625. I'm going to add those together. I want to stack them up. And I'm going to line up the decimal points. Okay, so there's my decimal points lined up. 6, 2, 5. Okay, notice how I did not line up the numbers. Okay, I lined up the decimal points. That's what we have to go off of. And I have some empty spaces. I have an empty space here, empty space here. That is what you're going to fill with zeros. Get into the habit of that because it'll save you from getting some wrong answers. Okay, now we can add this together. I lined them up. I filled my empty spaces. Let's go ahead and add 5 and 0, 2 and 0, 6 and 4, 10. Carry the 1, bring my decimal point down. 7, 3, and 1 is going to be 11. Carry the 1, and 2. So my answer is 21.025. 21.025. Okay, I bet this is kind of nice after that fractions video from yesterday. Alright, a little bit of a relief. I know that was kind of some heavy fractions to work with. So this is a little bit lighter. A little bit nicer lesson for you. Let's move into some subtraction. Now we have 9.7 minus 6. We're not worrying about same change or anything like that. We're just doing a nice review of subtraction. So we're just going to go 9.7, line up the decimal points. Notice 6 doesn't have a decimal point, so we're going to put one right there, right after the 6. So when we line it up, our 6 is going to be here. That decimal point will go there, and we're going to fill this empty spot with zeros. Subtract. That is going to get me 3.7. Okay? Last example here before we have some try this problem. 8.7 minus 1.459. Let's go ahead and line those up using the decimal points. Alright, and we are subtracting. Alright, notice these empty spaces right there. We need to fill those empty spaces with some zeros. Put a 0 here and a 0 here. Alright, now we can go ahead and subtract. We have quite a bit of borrowing to do here, so I'm going to make that a 6. That becomes a 10, which I'm going to borrow, make that a 9, make that a 10. So we have 10 minus 9, 1, 9 minus 5, 4. 2, and 7. Okay, I'm going through that kind of faster because I'm not spending a lot of time showing you how to do that. This is a skill we should have by now. We just want to do a review. Okay, so that's why this might be moving a little bit faster in case you didn't see how to get those numbers. You can pause the video if you need to. That's the great thing about it. Alright, so we have 7.241 is our answer for that problem. Okay, there's a few examples. Take a look at these try this problems. I have 2 of them. Give those a try, and then